To order. We'll pretend it's 6:30. And stand for the pledge. Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item C, adjustments to the agenda.
Have one adjustment to recommend for the board, actually two. One is to take item 1 from J, new business, first read of policy, off the agenda. The policy committee did not meet. And to add to new business J, item 4, discussion and consideration of authorizing the personnel committee to act on behalf of the board in appointing teachers for the month of June and July. We still have a number of positions that need to be appointed, and we thought that would be a better avenue to go rather than wait until the July meeting.
Do we need a motion to do that?
We do.
Okay.
I so moved.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? December. Item D, approval of minutes, May 9th, 2017.
I move that we approve the minutes of the May 9th, 2017 board meeting as
Second.
presented.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? The minutes from May 23rd, 2017.
I move that we approve the minutes of the May 23rd, 2017 special board meeting as presented.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Item E, communications and correspondence.
You have a number of letters of resignation in your packets, which I have distributed. I'll address them in my report.
Okay. There you go. Item F, public participation. Item G, administrative board reports. We don't have a student council board member here, so Mr. Clifford.
You have my report, so I just wanted to add some records of the senior class. And so we had 97 graduates. The grade point average was an 88.47. That was the average of that class. Graduates attending a 4-year college are 49 students. Attending a 2-year college are 24 students. Going directly into the military, we had 5. Work graduates going straight to the workforce are 19 students. Graduates with a 93 to 100. Grade point average were 10. And graduates graduating with honors, which is an 85 or above, were 69 students. So it was a deep class, a very academic class, and they'll be missed, definitely. The Paris-Madrid trip, right now we have 35 students. I'll give you updates periodically, but those are names and locked in and ready to do some fundraising this summer. So that number is high, higher than we anticipated, but it's good. It's really good. And Monday we had our underclassmen awards ceremony, and with a lot of underclassmen getting a lot of different kinds of certificates and a lot of different kinds of awards.
I wanted to make a comment about the Madrid trip. I'm glad we are launching this in a year when show choir, which every other year goes to Florida, I believe, to perform. So they'll be going to Florida next year. With interest this high in the European trip, we know that it would be even higher if there weren't a bunch of kids who have not, elected to sign up for it at this point because they are already planning to go to show choir. So
Right.
that just shows that there was a lot of pent-up demand for going to Europe. And I think, as more kids get a chance to do the European trip, they might not do it every year, so that'll allow the show choir kids maybe to get in on it the following year.
Right, and I think what we're gonna do, Mrs. Cudney and I talked about that, we're gonna offer it the years that show choir doesn't go. So we don't have, students won't have to choose.
Uh-huh,
So she plans to go 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Then take a year off,
okay,
and then go every other year.
in the intervening years, yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yep,
Good.
I think that'll resolve that problem.
Mm-hmm,
The graduation, I just wanted to say, I thought it was a great graduation. I really enjoyed the last couple of years of graduation, and the welcoming and the personal touch to it. I just thought the graduation's been very nice, the ceremony.
overall, it was an
It
outstanding
was-
ceremony
yes.
from,
Fabulous.
yeah.
Fabulous. And I also wanted to mention, I think this was the first year you did the visitations to the outside schools.
Yeah.
And that was such an
Yeah.
overwhelming success with community members and staff and the elementary students and the high schoolers enjoyed it. And everyone said, please, I hope they will continue that from year to year. That was a tremendous success.
Yeah, we'll do that every year. That'll be, yeah, the students had a great time with it.
You did a fabulous job with graduation, you and Matt and Mr. Higgins, and, you know, and I can say that from both perspectives, as a board member and as a parent, it was a great week for the kids. Seemed to, you know, I hope from your point that it ran as well as it did from the point of view of family members, because it seemed like it was a terrific week.
Yeah, no, I was happy with it. Yeah.
Good. Very nice.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I have Jim's report.
You know, we're here tonight because there's a dance at the middle school. That's where Mr. Newitt is this evening.
So we think.
We thank you.
So for Mr. Newitt, he would like to report on the following. This week is field days and class trips. Kids are in and out of the building. Really hot, but Mr. McDonald and Dave Norwood are both doing great jobs with that. The medieval fair begins tomorrow. The kids will go during the course of the day, and then it's open for the public from 6 to 7:30. If you have never been, it's a lot of fun. He'd like to thank the retiring staff, myself, Val McCluskey, Lori Madela, Chuck Brooks, Laura Rudolph, Dinah Haskell, and Nancy Antworth. In co-curricula, May 20th, 8th grader Zach Garnett won the top trophy for winning the fastest robot contest in Lego robotics that we hosted at EEMS. The spring play was a hit with students and the public, and the baseball, softball, and track teams enjoyed their seasons. And for parent news, this is both for K all the way through 8. Report cards go home on Monday the 19th. The last iReady test will also be sent home. In the middle school, class lists will be posted on July 7th, and summer school will begin on July 5th. Now for me. We have a tradition in the elementary school that we do a step-up day. That's going to be on June 19th, where students in K through 3 will meet their new teachers for the first time and their new classmates. And students in grade 4 will go meet with Mr. Newitt and learn all about middle school. They'll be excited to go on reward trips, play sports, participate in show choir, and oh yes, chocolate milk. Some things are worth waiting for. In kindergarten news, we have probably, I think we're at 79 kindergartners, and we have 2 children who are going to repeat. So we're still in the ballpark of good numbers for the 5 classrooms. Letters are going to go home to those students in early July. So next week we'll be placing those kindergarten students, and letters will go home telling the parents who their teacher will be and when the kindergarten open house will be. I too would like to thank staff who is retiring, Nancy Antworth, Diana Haskell, Laura Rudolph, for all they have done. Callie Benedestein is moving over to Cave Hill School, and Jen Beal is moving up to 7th grade. I'd also really would like to thank Pat Bruce. Pat Bruce has been a retired special educator who came back to fill a position that we were unable to fill throughout the course of the year. And it was a lot to come out of retirement and take that on, and I would just like to publicly say thank you, because our kids were well served because of that. We had our PTF-sponsored walkathon at the end of May. The money raised will support the enrichment activities. We also had our celebration, this is not in my report, but we had our celebration for the Vacation Read Challenge and the Laguna Lodge.
Lagonia.
Lagonia Lodge, the Masons, donated 10 bikes this year. And so we were able to give away a bike to a kindergarten girl and kindergarten boy all the way up. And I think it raised enough excitement, and there were no tears in the house, and all children were really excited for the other kids who won the bike. It was really nice. It was a great assembly. So thank you, Brenda and Jesse, for leading that cause, and I'm sure the school will look forward to it next year. And last, I would like to say thank you for 12 wonderful years. I've been blessed to work in this system as a leader in a building and in a district that cares so deeply about children. And I've worked with wonderful families, I've worked with great staff, I've had wonderful administrators to help problem solve and always make great decisions, and board members from the Ellsworth School proper, way back when, all the way through RSU 24 and back to Ellsworth. And so I look forward to watching things shift and change and great things happen as a community member. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you,
Thank
Amy.
you.
Thank you.
I have to follow that.
You mean Jim?
So HCTC Awards happened right after Memorial Day. We had a great night, standing room only. I think next year we're going to have to request to also use the AP room and pull the bleachers because we had so many parents standing and family members standing. So that was a great success. And between myself and staff, we covered every single public high school's senior award nights. So kids got recognized across the county for their contributions in career and technical education, which I think is really important. Skills USA leaves Monday, or begins Monday. They fly out this weekend on their chartered flight, so we wish them luck. And again, want to say thank you to all of the community members who have helped fundraise the money so that once again, the kids go completely for free to their national competition. Thanks to our MELMAC grant, we were able to do our Opportunities Fair at the end of May and host our senior barbecue. Those two things have become a really nice addition to our school culture. The Opportunities Fair grew from last year, and the entire cafeteria and hallways were full of post-secondary options, as well as local business people looking to fill workers, find jobs for kids over the summer, and that was a great day. And then our senior barbecue was a great day. Big Cats catered for us and gave us a great deal, and we were outside because it was beautiful out. Kids got HCTC t-shirts. And we just were able to say thank you to the seniors, and they were able to thank their teachers. It was a really nice day. I also wanted to let you know that I, in collaboration with Mr. Higgins and the Chamber of Commerce, have accepted a nomination to be on the executive board of the Chamber of Commerce in Ellsworth. We thought it would be a really nice tie-in, not only between the school department and local businesses, but also for my school, selfishly, for the work that we do with business people and for economic development. So I've started my work with that organization, and I'm happy to be a part of that. Finally, we have still several job openings at HCTC. We're looking for an auto diesel ed tech. We're looking to fill our early childhood ed tech position, as well as our English teacher for our academics room. And finally, believe it or not, our enrollment is still at 258. We have still had a lot of ads and drops, but the ads have evened out the drops. So amazingly, I cannot believe we're still at 258 for the fall. I am sure that we'll lose some by the start of school, but we're pretty darn excited that at this point in the year, we're still steady there. So that's pretty awesome. So that's everything. Any questions?
How many students did you have this year?
To end the year, I think we're at 191. So yeah,
Yeah.
Even if we end up at 220, 225, I will be blissful. Yeah, it'll be unbelievable.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, that's wonderful.
I would like to just thank you for going to all those schools. It was great having you at class night at EHS, and I know you did that for all the other schools as well. And that's a big time commitment for you and your staff, so thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, Annie isn't here, and
And Rachel is attending a function with her daughter this evening.
Okay.
But if I could, on behalf of Annie, just to announce to the
Okay.
board that the adult education graduation commencement exercises are Wednesday evening, 14th at 6 o'clock, and they'll be held at Ellsworth High School Theater.
and Rachel, and then it's you.
And then it's me. Thank you. Well, I'm going to say, the polls will be open until 8 o'clock, so people still have an opportunity to go vote. If I could, for the members of the board, just to talk very briefly about the transition to proficiency and an update of all the great work that's taken place over the course of this school year. You know, our administrators and our teachers have continued to make significant progress in the school department's transition to a proficiency-based instructional model. The work has been done once again in a thoughtful and thorough manner to ensure student and parent understanding and to ensure that we have a system that supports staff in their instruction and students in their achievement. During the 16-17 year, we've seen the implementation of a revised and updated progress report at Ellsworth Elementary School, final preparations for the full transition to assessing students on specific standards in content areas, a new 1 through 4 grading scale, determining proficiency on summative assessments only, and implementing a school-wide standard rating operating procedure for all classrooms at EMS. At the high school level, final determination of proficiency levels, the use of summative assessments only to determine student proficiency, a new grade report that reports on individual graduation standards, and implementation of a summative assessment extension request at EHS that will serve to, we hope, stem the tide of students who either procrastinate or take advantage of a system that won't let them fail. And at HCTC, full countywide approval of a standards crosswalk between HCTC and the sending schools that will permit students to demonstrate proficiency in their content area requirements while attending school at HCTC. In past years, not all students have been able to do that. So it's a significant amount of work that's been done, and I know you folks are aware of it. But we wanted the public to hear it this evening, and also wanted to mention to you that all of the principals and directors are going to be sending home a letter, either with the end-of-year grade reports or over the summer, detailing this information for parents and also announcing a date in the early fall or late summer where there'll be a public forum at each of the schools to talk specifically about those initiatives. Again, it's a credit to the administrators that you see in front of you here and the teachers that we have for the great amount of work that's been done. With regard to Route 1A and the new high school entrance, the date of June 19th is coming. And that is the day, to our understanding, that will be the last day that the current entrance at Ellsworth High School will be used. That will become an emergency-only entrance and an entrance for the ball field and tennis courts. Beginning, I believe, on the 20th, the new entrance down directly across from Forest Avenue, which is called Lee Jock Street, if you didn't see it in the Ellsworth American, will be the entrance to use at Ellsworth High School. And for those of you who are really looking at the details, our new address at the high school is 24 Lee Jock Street. We have for you this evening 4 teacher nominations, which we will take up a little bit later in the agenda. But we'd like to report to you that we had 2 staff members who are transferring positions within the district. Hope High, who's been guidance counselor at Ellsworth High School, will be transitioning to be the student services coordinator here at HCTC, a position that she held many years ago. And Maura Perry, who has been teaching kindergarten at EES, will be moving to take the middle school Title I literacy position. We've also hired some new staff since the last board meeting. Sometimes it's a very difficult position to fill, an ASL interpreter. We have hired a lady named Anna Perna, who comes to us with a great deal of experience. And I believe also she was recently named to the board of directors for the Baxter School for the Deaf. But a great deal of experience, and that will be great for our student. And special education ed tech Samantha Hansen has been hired. We have a number of letters of resignation that I shared with members earlier this evening, and just to announce them publicly. Tammy Tuznion, grade 1 teacher at EES, is resigning and moving back to her home. Adam Smith, middle school music. Shannon Murdoch, assistant director of special education for the school department. Diana Donahue Grindle, special ed tech 3 at Ellsworth High School. Colby Richards, grade 4 teacher at EES. Justin McGee, an ed tech at HCTC right here in the automotive program. And Callie Vanetta Stein from the EMS Title I literacy program. With regard to vacancies that we still have to fill, we have 2 special education positions at EEMS, one at the K-4 level, one at the grade 5-8 level. Speech and language pathologist, grade 2 teacher, middle school music teacher, as Mrs. Bowles said, an academics or humanities teacher here at HCTC, guidance counselor position at Ellsworth High School, school nurse position at EES, and assistant director of special education. So even though we're finishing up with our students here next week, our administrators still have a lot of work to do to fill those vacancies. And they're working very hard at it. To conclude my report, just to say that Monday, June 19th is the final student day for the 17-18 school year. Buses will begin to load students at 11:30 at Ellsworth High School, and they'll move over to EEMS to load students there. As we've done in past years, following the departure of our students, all Ellsworth School Department staff will meet in the theater at Ellsworth High School for the annual presentation of 5-year service pins and recognition of our retiring staff members. It's a wonderful activity. There's a lot of energy in the room, and it's really nice to honor the people that have worked in our school system in their 5-year increments, and also the people that have been here through their retirement. The next day, June 20th, is the final staff day, and staff will be working in their respective buildings and departments. I would like to offer congratulations to all of our students for their many accomplishments and successes in academic, co- and extracurricular, and community-based activities. Ellsworth students take advantage of the wide variety of opportunities available to them in all of our schools and achieve and succeed at the highest of levels. And if you listen to what Mr. Clifford reported for our senior class, it's very evident. Would also like to recognize all staff members in the Ellsworth School Department for the continued outstanding work with students. As Mrs. Peterson-Roper said, it's great to work in a system where the people that work here with our children care about our children and care about the best interests of children. We're very fortunate to have a staff that operates with that philosophy. And that concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
Would you repeat the time for the celebration of retirements and so forth on the 19th?
We ask the staff members to be at the theater by 1 o'clock.
Thank you.
And Mrs. Thomas, I noticed that
Yeah. I was gonna-
Mrs. Sargent is here.
Mrs.
She would like
Sargent,
to.
would you like to give your
I would
report?
love to.
Thank you.
Tomorrow's graduation, so I didn't look at the agenda, so I've been to 3 different locations. I was on time at the City Hall.
We sent reminders to each other.
Yeah. So, as I said, our graduation is tomorrow night, and I had 2 more graduates this afternoon, actually. I've probably done 30 hours of high-set testing in the last week. I usually do 4 hours a week, so that was kind of a lot. We expect to have about, I actually haven't, I'm so frazzled, I'm not sure, but we have about 20 graduates this year, which is pretty good. We're pretty excited about that. And this year, we're also honoring certificate program participants and college transitions and office skills students at the event to sort of share the breadth of our program. And we're honoring literacy volunteers. At previous board meetings, I've talked about our collaboration, and so we're honoring them. And they're 2 board members, and their 2 staff are coming down from Bangor, so we're excited. It's time now to think about, for people who want to enroll next year, this is a great time to start thinking about that. I'll be around all summer and eager to talk to people and register people for classes. We are going to have a couple of learning lab times in the summer, staffed by our volunteers, thanks to literacy volunteers. And I'll be doing assessments and meeting with students all summer. This has been a big year for us in terms of sort of this is our 3rd year, and the first year was exciting, and the second year we sort of had this huge growth, and then I said, okay, now we have to build the foundations so we can keep growing. And so we've done a lot of that this year. A lot of the work that we've done has been behind the scenes, figuring out data systems and that kind of thing. So we've been really busy with that all year. Our ESL learners are on the rise. We have we've probably quadrupled our number of students, and I'm not saying we have a ton. We have probably 12 without actively recruiting them. And so We're hoping to recruit volunteer tutors next year to help us expand services to our English language learners, which we're excited to do. They come from Jamaica, Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, Central America, and the Middle East. So we have quite a broad range of folks coming, which is exciting. Our customer service workshop was a huge success. I don't know, what do you think, Paul?
I think it was a huge success. I really enjoyed
Yeah.
participating in
Yeah,
it and
Paul-
with
Paul
some of
and-
my colleagues, yeah.
Yeah, we had about 7 businesses represented and a good group from each of them, and we got good feedback. So we're going to continue that.
Yeah, good, I'm glad you will.
Make Ellsworth, the city of Ellsworth, the customer service capital of Maine, right?
I would love that.
Yeah. So we're doing a lot of planning for our CNA program. It starts in September, the 12th, and we're gonna start a full-scale office skills certificate program next year. So we're excited to promote that and spread the word. And there's been a lot of requests from business people and individuals about a construction certificate program. And so I'm starting to explore that this summer and fall, hoping to maybe start that in January, if not in the 18-19 school year. I think that wraps it up. I made it abbreviated because you all have a copy of the report.
Yeah.
Thank you. Item H, committee reports. None? There's no old business. Oops.
Wait a minute, question. Does the one we had yesterday go under that, or as a representative to that committee?
That's not one of the reports that, that's not one of the committees that reports out at these meetings, but if the board is interested in hearing about the Dropout Prevention Committee's initial meeting, if it's okay with the chair.
Yes.
Yeah, I just didn't know where it went. We did meet yesterday. There are some slots being filled on the committee. Matt Clark is chairing that committee at this point in time. Guidance is doing some initial research to find some additional names. And we have set the first meeting date for October for the next committee meeting to begin in the fall.
Thank you. Item J, new business, consideration of teacher nomination.
Yes, very pleased. This is one of the exciting parts of our work, bringing new people into the system. And we have 4 nominees, names to bring forward tonight, and one of them is here this evening. So if I could, would like to speak specifically to the one who was able to be here. Being nominated for a first-year probationary contract as a special education teacher at EES, grades K through 4, is Taylor Beatty. Ms. Beatty was the unanimous selection of the building level interview committee. She earned her degree this spring at the University of Maine in Farmington and will be beginning her first year of teaching. She interviewed very well with the committee and demonstrates a solid knowledge of curriculum, special education law, and regulations. Her references were very good, and I had an opportunity to meet with her as well and found that she interviewed very well with me. I think she has a lot of promise to become a very strong special ed teacher, and she'll make a solid beginning teacher at Ellsworth Elementary School. We're looking forward to have her join the faculty. And if you would like to take action separately on that, then we can discuss the other 3 afterwards.
I'll be happy to make a motion, but I just need your, Taylor, okay. I move that we accept the superintendent's nomination of Taylor Beatty as an EEMS special education teacher for the upcoming school year. For the
Second. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I didn't do that very well.
Second the motion.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Congratulations. And we have 3 other nominees. Would the board like to take them separately or together?
I think we could take them together.
Okay. If I could first, I'd like to nominate William Firm to freshman science position at Ellsworth High School. In addition to his educational background, which includes a bachelor's in physics and a minor in mathematics, and a master's in secondary STEM education. Mr. Frum also participated in internships with NASA, Lehigh University, and the Jackson Laboratory. He has strong content knowledge, articulate and thoughtful, and was the unanimous selection of the interview committee at the building level. He'll be a solid addition to the faculty at Ellsworth High School. We also are nominating this evening Sunshine Barrett as the art teacher at EMS, .7 full-time equivalent. She has employment experiences at an art gallery as a manager and a curator in Hawaii, as a sales supervisor and senior management team member with the Polynesian Cultural Center, also in Hawaii, multimedia product development in Buena Vista, California. And in each of those experiences, she had opportunities to train and work with people with directly related to art instruction. So not necessarily particularly school-based experience, but a lot of experiences that tie in very closely to the art program at EMS. With employment experiences that will support and supplement the art curriculum, she was the unanimous selection of the building level interview committee. She spoke of using her varied experiences as a means of making connections between art curriculum and real-life applications of the arts. She's volunteered and done many presentations in EMS classrooms, and will also be a solid beginning teacher in addition to the faculty at EMS. And the fourth teacher we would like to nominate this evening is Melinda Boynton, who will be nominated for the freshman math position at Ellsworth High School. She has a bachelor's in secondary education and physical science at the University of Maine, and this past year has completed her coursework to have obtained her mathematics certification from the University of Maine at Augusta. She has taught in the freshman physical science program at Brewer High School for the past 3 years. And in those 3 years, she's taught in a proficiency-based classroom structure, and it's been all at the freshman level and has worked as part of the freshman team. Those are some of the experiences that made her the top candidate of the committee at the building level. Those experiences and her stated passion for teaching mathematics will make her a strong candidate for the freshman math position at the high school. Her references are very strong, and she'll be a solid addition to the Ellsworth High School faculty. So I would nominate all 3 of those teachers to you for first-year probationary contracts.
I make a motion that we approve the 3 people presented by Mr. Higgins for the positions as read.
I second that.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Appointment of administrative staff, Ellsworth Elementary Middle School principal.
Yes, and I know members of the board, you had an opportunity to meet with the candidate this evening, but would like to present him publicly now. I'd like to present Tim McCluskey as the candidate for the Ellsworth Elementary School principal position for next year. Mr. McCluskey has a great deal of experience. He has a business degree from the University of Maine, a master's in educational leadership from the University of Maine, and a CAS in instructional leadership at the University of Maine. He has served as a special education teacher, an assistant principal athletic director, both in Dexter and for the past 4 years here in Ellsworth. He's also served as an elementary level principal, the Dexter Primary and Garland Elementary School for 3 years, and also for 6 years at the Vine Street School in Bangor, Maine. Mr. McCluskey is being presented this evening as the candidate and comes with solid experiences in educational leadership, primarily at the elementary grade levels, and he has had a successful tenure at EEMS as an AP/AD. The committee is impressed by Mr. McCluskey's experience and believe he will make a nice transition from the AP/AD position to the principal position. He has experience working with student assessment data as a means of improving instruction, is well-versed in EES practice and ESD expectations, and knows our staff well. And the committee believes he will make a smooth transition to a very challenging leadership role. So the committee recommendation is for the board to approve Mr. McCluskey as the next principal at Ellsworth Elementary School.
I'd be happy to make a motion to appoint Tim McCluskey as the Ellsworth Elementary Middle School principal for a 2-year term commencing July 1st, 2017.
Second?
Discussion? All those in favor?
Congratulations, Tim.
Consideration and approval of Ellsworth School Department Flexible Benefit Plan.
And to the members of the board, this is a flexible benefit plan that has been in place for a number of years. There is one minor modification to it to comply with Internal Revenue Service regulations, and that is an increase of the maximum level of contribution from $2,500 annually to $2,600 annually. But with that one change requires your approval.
Okay, then. I move that we approve the Ellsworth School Department's flexible benefit plan as presented.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? 4, discussion and consideration of authorizing Personnel Committee to act on behalf of the school board in appointing teaching staff in the month of June and July.
And members, you heard the list of vacancies that we still have that require board action. This action would permit us to continue, our administrators working with the interview process and bring those names forward prior to the next board meeting. This is a time of year where candidates are looking at multiple opportunities, and we'd be best served if we have the candidates that we want, if we can get them appointed right away.
I make a motion that we give the Personnel Committee the authority to, do I say approve? Is that what I'm, point?
Act on behalf of the school board.
Okay, act on behalf of the school board during the months of June and July for the appointment of teaching staff.
Second that.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Thank you.
Calendar and announcements. Policy Committee meeting to be announced.
Yes, we're working with Joanne and Kelly to make sure that we have the right dates for that. We have been working on the first Monday of most months, but we may need to look at a different schedule for that.
Okay.
So we'll work on that and let the board know.
Okay. School Board Workshop, June 27th, in the Ellsworth School Department Conference Room at 6 o'clock. School Board meeting, Tuesday, July 11th, City Hall Council Chambers at 6:30.
I would also report to the board that it's coming very close for the committee and the teachers who have been working on screening mathematics resources to come to a determination, so the newly formed Curriculum Instruction and Assessment Committee will be called to meet to hear that recommendation on behalf of
Okay.
the board. That will be sometime over the next 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay, thank you. I think that's you.
Having no further business, I move that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want that back?